Alright, so I made that video the other day of the FX805, how I split it myself, and it worked excellent. I was pretty happy with that. There's not a ton of different mounts for you to use to mount it to, but the one that I had it on worked pretty damn good. It's a pretty good mount. I have one here that's made out of TPU that I probably won't be using because TPU, I mean, look at this. It's not going to work. You need to use PLA or something like that. Something hard. Maybe nylon might work. But these are excellent for the FX805 if you split it. Perfect. So I was just trying to find a little bit cheaper way of getting a nice, light, split camera VTX combination for a Tiny Whoop. I usually use the FX900, but it is a little bit expensive. It adds up when you're paying $44 at a time, especially if you're really hooked on whoops like me and you just want a ton of them. It adds up fast. So let me think. There is a few other combinations, and I'll show you one right here. This is one that I use all the time in a little bit bigger than Tiny Whoop. These will work fine in a Tiny Whoop as well. They are pretty light. But when you add this particular mount, this mount is pretty damn heavy. It's super thick, as you can see. It's just real thick and heavy. It works great on like a Raycon 76 is what I usually put them on. Something like that. Something brushless, but for a brush Tiny Whoop, you don't really want to be using this. This setup might actually work in one of these. It probably will. I'm sure it would just fine. So you could go that route. And these are only $18. So that's probably the cheapest route, but it doesn't look the best. In my opinion, the FX900 looks the best. And like I said the other day, the FX900 is actually an FX805 VTX with some other type of camera. So then I purchased something that I have seen for a while, ever since it came out, but I never got one because I thought that they were just really big and heavy. And as soon as I got it today, I realized that I was completely wrong and they are not too big and heavy. And that is the Fx806tc. Another thing that I realized as soon as I opened it is that this is the camera that is on the FX900. So here's the FX900. Wait, that's not it. Here's one right here. As you can see, it says FXT Cam 05 7/27/2016. FXT Cam 05 7/27/2016. Wires are on the side at the bottom, wires on the side at the bottom. This is the camera for the FX900 that comes with the FX806. So I'm wondering if at Tiny Whoop they just went with what they thought worked the best for them or something. I don't know. Maybe they thought that the FX805 VTX was a great VTX and the camera from the 806tc was the best camera, so they put them together. That's probably how it went. Not 100% sure on that, but I'm wondering about this VTX. This VTX looks pretty awesome to me. It's incredibly light and tiny, way tinier than I thought it was. I mean, it's just super tiny. It's 20 millimeters long, 14 millimeters wide. It's 4 millimeters thick, 6 millimeters thick where this plug is. And this is the plug that the camera plugs into. So for people that don't want to solder, this is completely solderless setup. But what I'm going to do, so as it sits right now, it weighs 3 grams on my scale. It could be slightly over 3, but it's definitely not 4. So it's between 3 and 3.5 grams right now, how it sits. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be splitting this yellow right in the middle. Then I'm going to trim the red down to there and down to there, so that all that red and black right there is going to be gone. Then I'm going to be taking this plug, ripping that off, so that plug's gone. And then I'm going to be trimming this about right there, you know, so all that wire and that plug is also gone. So all that stuff gone, is at least a gram. So when I'm done, this is going to be a 2.5 gram setup, possibly less, which is just incredibly light. Crazy light. There's nothing else as light as that I know of. Correct me if I'm wrong, but. And I'm going to be putting it on this probably. This is a Beta 65S 7mm frame. I love 7mm. It's so awesome. I've been building whoops like crazy lately. I don't know why. I'm just hooked on them for some reason. I don't even care if I fly them or not. Well, it's fun to fly them, but I just am. I don't know why. I just have to build them. It's insane. It's out of control. I really like this case that it came in too, man. It's kind of like this. What's this right here? The cockroach. You know how it comes in this? It's almost like the same style of case, but this one's really thin. This one's like hard, like an actual case. It's crazy. I'm definitely not gonna throw this away. I don't know why, but I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do with it. It just doesn't feel like something that you throw away right away. Maybe I'll throw it away tomorrow. Also got these badass Micromotor Warehouse 7mm motors. They're 7x16. So I've been flying brush quads for years. And if you're new to my channel, you might not know. But if you go back a couple years in my videos, you'll see that I flew nothing but brush quads. And most of them were Micromotor Warehouse motors, picnic quads frames. But I definitely was flying a bunch of Micromotor Warehouse 7mm as well. But back then, I don't believe that they had 16mm long 7mm motors. I believe that they were only 20mm. I could be wrong, but if I recall right, they only had the 7x20s. Now they got the 7x16s. They even have their own logo on them. It's pretty awesome. Ben got this done for his motors. It's etched in there. Pretty cool. The Chow Lee motors. These are like 17 or 17.5 kV. So they're going to be insanely fast. I don't know how they compare to the gnarly FPV Blitz motors. I have those on this other 7mm that I got. This is also a Beta 65S frame. But this has the gnarly FPV Blitz motors on it. I like that it has the really short motor wires, and all the wires are the same color, which I like too. It's pretty cool. They just have different colored bottoms, so you know which goes where, which is pretty awesome. What else? That's about it. Yeah, so I just wanted to say I finally found the camera that's on the FX900, and this bad boy is only like 25 bucks, which is pretty damn cheap. I just don't know how well this VTX is going to work. I'm sure it works just fine, but I'll be testing it out, and I'll do a couple more videos to let you guys know how well it works. I'm sure there's people out there using this thing, but I haven't personally seen too many people using it. So, yeah, we'll see. All right, then.